Hi, so in this class, we are going to be engaging in a lot of critical thinking exercises, and I wanted to kind of take the time to discuss what critical thinking is and what that looks like in the English classroom. There are three different pieces that I think about when I think about critical thinking. The first one is the idea of self. So, in order to become a critical thinker, you need to have a strong understanding of who you are. And that doesn't mean that you need to know everything about yourself because we're constantly growing and evolving. But I think that these questions are important to think about as we approach anything critically. We're all different. So I want you to think about what makes you who you are, what is something that you're proud of, and what is something that you strongly believe in. Those are kind of the three biggest questions to center yourself around. The second thing that I think about is space. So, what makes the space around you unique? And this can be at any given moment of the day. It can be in our classroom, it can be outside of class while you're working on assignments, it can be in a future job space or in a future educational space. I want you to think about what that makes that space around you unique, how you interact with the space around you, and what catches your attention, maybe like a random hand coming out of a hole in the ground. These three questions are foundational to understanding space and to building foundational knowledge. The third piece, which is where a large bulk of the critical thinking comes in, is possibility. So now that you know and you've centered yourself and your space, think about what could be different. What in your surroundings could look different? How could you be different within those surroundings? And also, how could someone else's experience in this space feel different than yours? So, we're going to take a little bit of time to reflect on those things personally, but also I want to draw your attention to the fact that this also works for books. So, one of our reading assignments was Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and you can actually walk through these three same steps for just about anything, centering either a character or an author. You can think about self in terms of that author, right? What makes them different? What is something that they are proud of? And what is something that they strongly believe in? You can think about their space and their context, right? What does the space around them look like? What makes it unique? How do they interact in that space? And what might have caught their attention? And also possibility. A huge part of what we talk about in the English classroom is imagination. So, how do we see these authors, these characters using their imagination to create a different world around them?